Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today to discuss about Abiy Ahmed's trip to the Arab Emirates in the midst of extremely crazy war going on in that area. Why did he go there? He's the first president to visit, the first head of state, ladies and gentlemen, to visit Arab Emirates at this extraordinary moment. I don't understand why, but we will try to figure it out together and check this out. First of all, let's see his involvement in East Africa, especially in the Horn. And here is the video that I want you to see.
Keep calm, keep your composure.
Ethiopia training recruits for Sudan's feared rapid support forces with alleged backing from the UAE? As Sudan's civil war rages on, the conflict is drawing in powerful regional players, quietly and dangerously. Ethiopia has been accused of hosting a covert military training camp for thousands of fighters linked to Sudan's rapid support forces, according to a Reuters investigation, in a development that points to growing regional entanglement in one of the world's deadliest conflicts. The camp, located in Ethiopia's remote western Benishangul Gumuz region near the Sudanese border, represents the first direct evidence of Ethiopian involvement in Sudan's civil war. Its existence could significantly bolster the RSF at a time when fighting is intensifying in southern Sudan, particularly in Blue Nile State. Reuters spoke to 15 sources familiar with the construction and operation of the camp, including Ethiopian officials and diplomats, and analysed satellite imagery of the area. 8 sources, among them a senior Ethiopian government official, said the United Arab Emirates financed the camp's construction and provided trainers and logistical support. These claims were echoed in an internal Ethiopian security note and a diplomatic cable reviewed by Reuters. The UAE has denied involvement. Its foreign ministry said it was not a party to the conflict and was not involved in the hostilities.
But the whole world knows its involvement in Sudan. It's not news anymore. It's just pretty much obvious. Everybody knows what's going on in the Sudan. Okay, the Saudi Arabians know, the Eritreans know, Somalians know, Americans know, and everybody has been warning this guy to quit his adventures, political adventures in the Sudan, and the Arab Emirates is denying this.
Reuters, however, said it could not independently verify the UAE's role or the camp's purpose. Sudan's civil war began...
One way or the other, the camp has already been disclosed in Ethiopia, and we saw it already. So with this in the background, ladies and gentlemen, let me go to the next phase. Why did he go this time to the Arab Emirates in the midst of hell in that region? That's what I want to find out and then discuss. And remember, he's only head of state who did this kind of diplomatic adventures. Is that because he was smart? Is that because he was a hero? Is that because he wants to tell the world something about his uniqueness? Ladies and gentlemen, we'll find out right now.
Missiles are flying across the Gulf. Airspace is closing. Major airlines are suspending flights. Yet in the middle of this chaos, one African leader suddenly boarded a plane and flew directly into the region. That leader is Abiy Ahmed, Prime Minister of Ethiopia. And the destination? The United Arab Emirates. But here is the strange part. He made that trip just one day after a phone call with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and only 2 days after Washington designated Sudan's Muslim Brotherhood as a terrorist organization. So the real question is, why did Abiy Ahmed rush to Abu Dhabi right now? To understand this visit, we need to look at the timeline. First, there was a regional meeting in Djibouti City hosted by Ismail Omar Guelleh, the president of Djibouti.
At 65, feeling comfy.
Focus, regional security and cooperation across the Horn of Africa. But immediately after this meeting, something else happened. The U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio called Abiy Ahmed. According to the United States Department of State, the conversation focused on regional stability, counterterrorism cooperation, and long-term security in the Horn of Africa.
Well, I do believe the meeting in Djibouti was probably just shows that he's okay with the neighbors. But we know the Somalian government is not okay with Abiy. And also the Djiboutian government has a lot of pressure from Abiy. Anyway, Abiy went there after causing problems with the Sudan, with Eritrea. I don't know about Kenya too much in the situation, but definitely with the Somalians too. And he lost all the opportunities he could have. The port access that he's talking about, and Djibouti is the only country now supplying him. So it's okay. He's trying to go there. He went there to probably normalize situations or to ask both countries their neutrality, actually, to be neutral in case he fights against Eritreans right now. He's backing down anyway because it was not real. So far, it hasn't been real. Therefore, his trip to Djibouti could have been from a little bit lower standard of communication, to my understanding, in this desperate situation. But then what did he do?
This phrase may sound routine, but in diplomacy, repeated words are rarely accidental. The call itself was brief, but its context is extremely important. Only days earlier, Washington officially designated Sudan's Muslim Brotherhood as a terrorist organization.
America has told him to pacify his aggression anyway, because the priority of the United States of America is a very peaceful region, very peaceful pathway to Europe. I mean, through the Red Sea and the Hormuz, of course, right now it's in a different situation. So they have told him to control his emotional desire for war.
This move is significant because Sudan remains one of the most unstable countries in the region after the ongoing conflict between rival military factions. And instability in Sudan does not stay in Sudan. It spreads across the Red Sea corridor and the Horn of Africa. That is exactly where Ethiopia sits. For Washington, stability in the Horn is critical to counterterrorism operations targeting groups like Al-Shabaab and ISIS. And this is where another actor enters the picture: the United Arab Emirates. For nearly a decade, the relationship between Ethiopia and the United Arab Emirates has become one of the most important partnerships linking the Gulf and the Horn of Africa.
Why though? Why doesn't he actually make friendship, his friendship with Africans? Look at this. I'm talking about, is it more important to go out there and to be a friend of that country instead of being a friend of Sudan, because he can get access to the sea through Sudan? Eritrea, same thing. Djibouti, Somalia, Egypt, Saudi Arabia on the other side. Why is he going far beyond this region to do what? To do what? I mean, shouldn't he have had good relationship with his neighbors? Had he been worried about safety and security of the region?
Since 2018, ties between Abiy Ahmed and Mohammed bin Zayed have grown significantly.
Why is Mohammed bin Zayed so interested in Africa? Why is he killing Africans in the Sudan for gold? And why is he contributing a lot of problems, to the problems in the overall situation in Ethiopia? And Abiy Ahmed, how much money is he being paid for that purpose? So what I'm saying, what I'm talking about is to the extent of having that kind of base, hidden base, training base in Ethiopia to attack the Sudan, to destabilize it for the interest of this man. You understand? At the end of the day, boil down that these are the two actors left in the international arena that are doing this kind of practice while everybody is against them. Everybody needs peace in the Sudan. America, Eritrea, Somalia, the region in general, Ethiopians included, except this guy. Why did he go there?
The UAE has invested heavily in Ethiopia's economy. It has supported diplomatic initiatives across the Horn, and it has become one of the most influential Gulf actors shaping the politics of the Red Sea region.
But what we know is that Ethiopians are starving. Ethiopians are dying of war. What kind of economic stimulation did this country do in Ethiopia? Well, except the superficial stuff. How much land did it buy from Ethiopia? How did the Ethiopians use this money? And what is Abiy doing at this point in the experience? No Ethiopians have ever used the money that this country is investing in Ethiopia, because it's not investing, actually, it's stealing gold. It is giving them arms. You understand? An exasperating condition in the East African, in the Sudan, okay, by siding with the rebel group instead of the government.
This means something important. When Washington talks to Ethiopia about regional security, the UAE is often part of that conversation. But the time
Part of that conversation, sir. Yeah, of course, on the opposite side of the aisle, on the problem side of the aisle.
timing of Abiy's trip adds another layer. The visit came during heightened tensions between Iran and several Gulf states. Missile and drone attacks linked to the confrontation disrupted airspace across the region. Airports across the Gulf temporarily shut down. Even British Airways suspended flights to Abu Dhabi for months due to security concerns. Yet despite these disruptions, Abiy Ahmed became one of the first foreign leaders to travel to the UAE during the crisis.
He must be desperate of something. I don't know. Definitely. The war is now going in his favor in Ethiopia, and they're just catching up. They're probably going to go to Addis pretty soon. The Fano and the rebels and the Tigrayans are on the other side waiting. The Fanos are doing a good job. The Amhara uprising, and Deep South, the Oromo uprising, and he's stuck now. Completely stuck as such to take this kind of desperate action. How about if they shot him? How about if the Iranians shoot his plane or something? In any case, he has started war against the Iraqis. He has taken a bold position in this war.
What's that say?
This is for real.
Your debt?
And that decision sends a signal. Interestingly, Ethiopia has not issued a formal policy statement about the Gulf conflict. This silence is not accidental. Ethiopian diplomacy often avoids dramatic public declarations during volatile geopolitical crises. Instead, it focuses on quiet strategic dialogue.
Ethiopia? I don't believe so. He's the loudest head of state I ever seen in my life. Abiy to be quiet diplomacy. Abiy and quiet diplomacy. Forget it. To my understanding, this doesn't work. Abiy is known for his just too much desire for attention. He's always on the TVs, more than any other president I know in Africa.
But there are clues about where Addis Ababa stands. Earlier this month, Abiy Ahmed condemned Iranian missile strikes targeting Gulf states, calling them a violation of sovereignty.
He's trying to go to Eritrea. This guy doesn't understand. He's trying to get arms to go to Eritrea. If he understands sovereignty, you understand what I'm saying? This is contradictory. He's trying to go to Eritrea. He's almost in the borders to invade, to capture Assad by force. Sovereignty he's talking about right now. I cannot believe it.
At the same time, Ethiopia has maintained diplomatic relations with Iran. Just last year, the two countries signed cooperation agreements between their police institutions.
They were selling him the drones, actually. Isn't this double standard? I mean, with both, you cannot do diplomacy like that, but you got to stick with one of, or you have to stay in the middle. If you want to make peace in between, you cannot just go there, condemn something, and come here again, condemn something. Okay, he was with the Iranians at the first site, what he was still talking about. He was sympathizing with the Iranians, and now he's against them in this war. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just a very childish diplomacy, and he's going to pay the price for it.
This balancing act reflects a broader strategy, maintaining relations with multiple powers.
And you cannot do that. Not in this situation.
While avoiding direct alignment in conflicts that do not directly involve Ethiopia.
Well, he has already involved. That's what I'm saying. By this action, he has involved already against Iran, ladies and gentlemen. But he has said something to that effect also. I don't have the source right now, but based on the journalists down there in that country, he has condemned Iran on this one.
For Abu Dhabi, Ethiopia is not just another African partner. It is the demographic and political center of gravity in the Horn of Africa.
It has nothing to do with us, man. The center of gravity should have been Eritrea, Sudan, Cairo, of course, Saudi Arabia, Yemenis, probably the Somalians and the Djiboutians, the ones who own the sea. He's got nothing to do with this one except sailing peacefully.
With over 120 million people and one of the largest militaries in the region, Ethiopia plays a decisive role in regional stability.
No, by the way, Ethiopia got nothing to do with this. No, Ethiopia cannot secure the Red Sea because it's not its property. This Red Sea has its owners secure it. They're securing it very much so. And they're also the biggest powers in Djibouti are securing it. Ethiopia got nothing to do with this. It cannot even secure its own people.
For the UAE, maintaining close ties with Addis Ababa helps secure the political and economic corridor connecting the Arabian Peninsula with East Africa.
No, it's too late now. I don't know if you're going to survive this problem right now, the war in Iran. In Iran, I'm talking about. I cannot understand how it can control these regions from now on. Can it survive the war?
That corridor includes critical shipping routes across the Red Sea. And those routes are becoming increasingly strategic in today's global power competition. But to fully understand this visit, we also need to look at a bigger geopolitical trend. Over the last decade, the Red Sea has quietly become one of the most contested routes. Why? Because nearly 12% of global trade passes through the Red Sea corridor every year.
That's why this country should have made peace with Eritrea and then actually with the Red Sea countries in general. To go to Ethiopia to secure this route by passing these countries itself was a very selfish and ingenuine state of mind, to my understanding.
And the Horn of Africa sits directly at the entrance of this vital route. For Gulf states like the United Arab Emirates, stability along the Red Sea is not just a security issue. It is an economic necessity.
Why does he choose to destabilize it then? What does stability mean? Why is he doing what he's doing in the Sudan? Ladies and gentlemen, he's worried about stability. Why is he instigating the war between Ethiopia and Eritrea? The illegal war, of course. Why does he motivate Ethiopians to go and capture us? Stability. These are the two leaders that are destabilizing the country, ladies and gentlemen, frankly speaking. Stability. He cannot stabilize his own country. Abiy is fighting his own people, ladies and gentlemen. Selling his own people, okay? Brutally killing them. In ethnic lines, Ethiopia has 13 liberation movements fighting the army. And the army is being crippled right now. And where is the stability? Yet it goes to the Sudan also to complicate matters for the Sudan. And now she wants to complicate our lives in Eritrea too. Where is the stability?
Shipping lanes, energy routes, and global trade all depend on it. That is one of the reasons why Gulf countries have dramatically increased their diplomatic and economic presence in the Horn of Africa over the past decade. Ports, infrastructure projects, and security partnerships have become key tools of influence. And within this regional landscape, Ethiopia occupies a unique position. Even though Ethiopia is landlocked, it remains the largest economy and one of the most powerful political actors in the Horn of Africa. Its stability, or instability, directly affects the entire Red Sea region. That means when Ethiopia's leadership meets with Gulf leaders, the conversation is rarely just about bilateral relations. Instead, these meetings often revolve around the broader strategic question: how do we maintain stability in a region that is becoming increasingly important to global trade and international security?
All they have to do is stay away from fighting, okay? From actually getting rebels supporting them and stuff. And Arab Emirates, you know what they have been doing in the Yemeni Peninsula, to divide the country. Then what happened when Saudi Arabia attacked them and Yemen kicked them out, and the Somalians kicked them out. They're not in Eritrea. They are in a contradictory situation with the Egyptians, and they are antagonistically related to the Saudi Arabians. Where is the stability? The Sudanese don't want that. Sudanese are ready to fight Abiy, actually, to compensate in revenge. Revenge. What is the revenge for? For what Abiy has done with this government training the anti-government forces, the terrorist forces in the Sudan. Where is the stability coming from? Okay, let's finish.
In geopolitics, timing often reveals more than official statements. Abiy Ahmed's visit to the UAE came immediately after a conversation with Washington during a major regional conflict, and at a moment when the Horn of Africa is becoming central to global security discussions.
So why did he have to go there to his boss? He doesn't have to go there. If this was a dignified leader of Ethiopia, does he have to go there? Did he have to go there? Because Rubio called him from America to shut up, to stabilize himself, his country, and keep his hands off the countries around the country. That's called Ethiopia, that's German. So what motivates him to go there? Could that be the motivating factor? Or there were some other issues behind?
Which suggests that this trip was not just diplomacy, it was strategic consultation during a rapidly changing regional order. And the decisions made in these quiet meetings may shape the future balance of power.
Well, no, I don't think so. Not in East Africa anymore. Abiy is going to be out of the show because Ethiopians don't want him. There is going to be some kind of change in Ethiopia, politically speaking, and that guy is not going to come to East Africa anymore. After what he did to the Sudanese, what he did to the Eritreans, and to the entire region, to the Somalians, to the Yemenis. I think he went there to get an order to this desperate way. What should I do now? I don't have arms. My ammunition have been taken by the Fano. I need a refuel. Refueling, arms-wise, I'm talking about, let's say, because scarcity of arms in Ethiopia. He cannot fight the war without more arms, more ammunition to kill the people. Okay, because he has a problem with the Fanos, the Tigrayans. He cannot even go to the Tigray region, basically. A leader, he cannot go to a place under his jurisdiction. You understand? Constitutionally speaking, ladies and gentlemen, so he wants to know what to do now. Everything is messed up. The army cannot continue fighting without arms. It needs money. It needs food. It needs a lot of things. Ladies and gentlemen, in Eritrea, you cannot do it without more arms. Now he is stuck completely in the middle. So what should I do? Boss, what do you tell me to do? Of course, On top of that, to go there to tell him, hey man, I'm sorry about what happened to you. I'd do anything for you. I criticize Iran. He doesn't know what the consequences, ladies and gentlemen. So it has to be to get more ammunition for the civil war going on in Ethiopia and for his anticipated aggression against Eritrea, which I don't know. We don't know when it's going to take place. I don't know if this program can work anymore with UAE in big trouble right now. The colonial ambition of United Arab Emirates was about to be translated by neo-colonial ambition of the same country, actually, indirectly colonizing Africans through Abiy. Abiy is a slave. He went to the master in this kind of situation. Extremely difficult situation, risking his life and his political life, his diplomatic maneuvers and all that kind of stuff. Money is short, ammunitions are short. Problem is, he didn't understand that he has taken the side. He has taken side in favor of his master. And the Iraqis have the momentum in this war. You understand what I'm saying? Well, is it possible for the Iranians to throw something against the Ethiopians and to destroy the camps that are disturbing the Sudanese and the whole region? Listen, is this a cause? Can the Iraqis attack Ethiopia on this premise if they want to? Because he has provoked them. All the kind of things going on in Ethiopia, in Iran, without any sympathy, he went to this guy. Meaning, is he trying to attract Americans because America is fighting? Are we fools like that? Are we Americans just stupid enough to be just maneuvered by this kind of stuff? Because we know all the things he does. By him going to the OAU, does he guarantee friendship with America? I'm talking about. I don't think so. Because we Americans are desperate ourselves. We have no time. You understand? To assess this kind of madness. We will see. But I wouldn't be surprised if the war continues and if Iraqis take any kind of action against this guy. If he survives long, ladies and gentlemen, I think he has done a lot of damage to his political substance, to his diplomatic power. So he's so desperate. This shows you that he is in a very delicate and fragile situation. And this is my opinion. I'd like you to support my English channel. If you can, I'll show you which one it is, because I will post this one right there, ladies and gentlemen. You understand? So we can work in a civilized manner. My English channel is called Eritrea Here and Now. I think I have about, but not too many people know it, ladies and gentlemen, 220 people. So please subscribe to it, because I will post my English channels, my English videos in this, so we can share it with the world. And I love you. I respect you. Take good care of yourselves until the next show.